What if Deku had Deadpool's powers? So I really wanted to do this what if. I know and I feel like a lot of people are not gonna be attracted to this one, but I don't really care because I always wanted to know this concept of how Izuku would be if he had Deadpool's powers. So what I mean by Deadpool's powers, I mean of course the be able to recover from any injury. The is it indestructible? Yeah, indestructible and peak physical strength. Um, yeah, peak human, all that stuff. Runs fast and knows how to learns how can learn fast. I'm just gonna add that just because, and knows how to use any weapon and very agile and stuff. So Izuku he goes to a quirk doctor and he seems to be quirkless and he's heartbroken. And he goes back to school and everyone teases him about not having a quirk and all that stuff. This goes on for a few more years until Izuku was 10. And then finally Izuku's dad comes home. I'm gonna say he's a scientist and quirk studies, something like that. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. And he comes back home and he says, "Izuku, it's been so long." And Izuku hugs his dad, and it's this wholesome moment. And then he unpacks and they are eating at the table, and his dad says, "So Izuku, I know I'm like 5 years late, but sorry about your quirk, not having a quirk." Izuku's like, it's fine. Doesn't mean me being quirkless doesn't mean it's the end of the world." His dad smiles and says, "Yeah," while having something in mind. Now it's time to go to bed and Izuku's preparing to go to sleep, but he hears a knock on his door. And says, "Come in." And his dad comes in and says, "Hey Izuku, can I talk to you for a sec?" Izuku says, "Sure, what do you want to talk about?" His dad says, "I know you want to be a hero, but you don't have your quirk, so it's gonna be much difficult, but my time being away, when I found out you're quirkless, I started developing something." And Izuku says to the father, "What do you mean developing something?" And his dad says, I developed something, my son. I have developed a machine that will make you invincible." Izuku's like, "Invincible? What do you mean?" His dad says, "I mean invincible, I mean recover from any damage, any injury, anything, my son. I spent all these years perfecting it for you, because I don't want your dreams to be crushed just because you don't have a stupid quirk." Izuku's still confused by this and says, "So you gonna give me powers? But I thought quirks were powers." He says, "Let me tell you the gist. So I've been developing something. I've been testing of how quirks developed, and we all know that they're developed by rats. But then I figured out a way to gain powers, but just not by genetics, by pushing your body to limits that unlocks powers that you never had before." Izuku's like, "Powers? So does that mean I could be a hero like All Might? And his dad says, of course, my son. And Izuku starts to get excited and says, when do we get to go? When do I get my power? And he can't sleep anymore. And he tells him, we can leave tomorrow if you want. But I'm telling you, this is gonna be like hell. And then Izuku's like, anything, I will push through it. I need to be a hero. I know that's what I'm made for. His dad smiles and says, I'm proud of you, but just don't hate me after this. And he laughs, not in an evil way. They both laugh. And then the next day comes and Inko says, you be careful there, Izuku. I know what's gonna happen, so it's gonna be painful, but you can push through it. I know this is your dream, but Then the dad says, it's okay, Inko. He will be better and stronger than he ever was before. And then they leave. They travel to his lab in America. And that's where he sees all types of machines, and he sees a punching bag and treadmills, and he says, so is it just a workout thing? And he's like, no, son. He holds him on his hand like, I'm sorry for what you're gonna feel in these past 2 days. So then Izuku's like, what? But before he can answer, a bag goes on his head and he doesn't know what's happening. He says, Dad, what's happening? And he's being tied up and handcuffed, and he's trying to get out, but he's thrown into water. He's like, what's happening? And he's brought out and says, and he hears, I'm sorry, Izuku, this is necessary. And he gets dipped inside and he's left there, but not for so long that he could freaking die. And then afterwards, after that, they checked on him, and Izuku's there. What the heck just happened? Why did you do this? The dad says, this is how you develop your powers. I told you these 2 days would be hell, but I know you said that you wanted to be a hero, so then Izuku says, what's actually gonna happen, Dad? And he tells him, okay, son, basically we're gonna torture you. He's like, torture me? It's like, yes. Usually when people are tortured to a maximum point, they develop these senses. Alright guys, just before I say stuff, I'm making all this up, I don't know what I'm saying. So people get enhancement before they die, because they will to not die increases and stuff, etc. And if you're thinking of stuff, it will happen. And then Izuku's like, okay, so when I'm in these situations, I should think to not die and try to survive. He's like, exactly, I knew they would get it. And then he says, it's not over. We still have to inject you to stuff. So they tied Izuku to a table and then inject him with stuff. And he said, this is a fear syndrome. That's, I don't know. Fear, as I don't know. It's gonna make you 10 times scared than usual. So it'll probably help you to boost this thing. And Izuku is like, wait, 10 times what? I'm already scared. Dad, no, please. It's like, Izuku, I have to. And then they put anesthesia on him, and then falls asleep, and then they inject the serum inside him and a few chemicals. Once they boost in, and Izuku wakes up trembling, terrified, and they put him through torture, not something that's gonna kill him, for hours. And Izuku is getting scared, and once they made him think they're gonna throw him into out the mountain or something, and then none of it was working. And then on the last thing, which was the first thing they done to him, was to drown him. So then it was the last day of the second day, and he told him, "Okay, Zuko, it's the last day. I'm sure this will make it pop." Zuko was still terrified and trembling and crying, and then when he gets drowned, he starts to scream, and then he he goes unconscious, and everyone thinks he died, and his dad's like, no, this wasn't supposed to happen. He's like, brings him out, like takes the bag off, and is Zuko shaking him, but Zuko just comes back to life, like and then Zuko just muscles just change, like it's transforming his muscles to a six-pack and stuff, and making him grow taller. And his dad is amazed by this and says, "Whoa!" And then Zuko wakes up and says, "What?" And he sees himself and he's like, "I'm muscular." And his dad hugs him and is like, "It worked, son. And I'm so sorry what you must have gone through." Zuko's like, "Hey, it worked?" He's like, "Yes. Now you can achieve your dream and be a hero." And Zuko's just kind of happy but confused and passes out. He wakes up in a bed in a room that he's never seen before, because he didn't get to sleep. He was just being tortured and thrown into a room just to be sprayed at. He could never sleep properly, so he was confused where he was. So he wakes up and he sees his dad right beside him, sleeping. But then he wakes up and says, "Oh, Zuko, how are you doing?" Zuko says, "I'm actually doing great. I don't feel any pain. I feel energetic. I feel amazing." And his dad says, That's great, son. Now that you unlocked your abilities, we would like to test them." It's like, "Test them? What do you mean by that?" It's not torture this time. It's just tests to see how fast you become, how strong you become, and what ability you gained from this. And Izuku's like, "Sure." So then they go to a room where it's like training equipment everywhere, stuff like that. And Izuku's first up full running, so they put some I don't know how to describe it, but stuff on his head to measure his brain or something. I don't know, like, just imagine, like, you know that stuff you can stick to the wall, but like they put it on the head. Okay, stuff like that on his head, and they start the treadmill out slowly and faster and faster and faster. But Izuku's heart rate was fine, even at the maximum speed. He's just like sprinting like it's nothing. He has an enhanced stamina too. They thinking he has such great speed and stamina. And then next they test the strength, and they have a grip test. By the way, this is Izuku just 10, and they take a grip test and they tell him to squeeze it, and Izuku squeezes it and he gets 500 kgs, and they're all surprised and like, "Whoa, that's amazing." And then they do more tests and stuff like that, and they come to a conclusion that Izuku has many abilities, that he can run fast, superhuman. I'm gonna say he's like, so like, you know, apparently Captain America was like 10 times faster than like the fastest, like Usain Bolt. I don't know, but like he's as fast as Captain America, which is I'm gonna say pretty fast because, yeah. And he has great strength. That is Midoriya at 15% full cowling. So no, actually no, that's way too much. What am I saying? Actually, I'm gonna say he has superhuman strength. Like, it's immense. Okay, yeah, 10% of one for all. Like, it's basically that strength. Okay, yeah, that's pretty strong, right? Yeah, whatever. And his speed is also like 10% one for all. And they figure out that he's able to um uh, determine the situation and then analysis it, I don't know, and determine the best solution to do. So yeah, he can think fast and he's grown smarter and he's able to learn things faster and has photographic memory. His agility has improved and he has like skills like a freaking ninja. Just trying once, and he's extremely trained in every field of weapons. Like, if you just hand him a weapon, he will know how to use it straight away. So Izuku's happy by this, and his dad's happy by this, and tells Izuku that you must not tell anyone about this, and just tell them this is your late quirk. And once you're older, you can tell people that you actually don't have a quirk, and that this is your latent human powers. I don't know what I'm saying. And Izuku nods and says, okay. And he goes back home. And when he rings on the doorbell and Inko opens, she looks and at first says, yeah, I think you got the wrong house. But then she looks closer and says, Izuku? And he's like, yeah, Mom. And she's like, Izuku! What? You've grown taller and you're muscular. It's only been 2 days. And then Izuku's like, it's been a success. I got the powers. And she's like, wow, what is it? And explains everything, that also indestructible. She's like, wow, that's amazing, Izuku. And then he says, oh yeah, and Dad gave these as a gift. And he opens it and it's katanas and guns with rubber bullets. He said that to his mom, and she's like, okay, make sure not to use it on your friends, only on villains, okay? And it's like, yes, Mom, of course. And he also had something special with the note on it. It says, use this once you get into UA. Because he already knew Izuku's probably going to get into UA, even though he's still 10 years old and he's only going to take it 5 years later. So then Izuku goes to bed and thinks, I really am going to become a hero. That was the last thought he had before he fell asleep. So then he woke up the next day and headed to school. No one recognized him because how tall he was and muscular. People just thought it was a new kid. But once they were in class, Izuku didn't really show his face at first because he wanted to surprise everyone once they called out his name, and he just stands up and says, here. So then he's planning for that and he's getting excited, and finally his time comes to shine, and the teacher says, Izuku Midoriya. And people will just start to laugh because of his name. Like, Izuku Midoriya. That guy. And Izuku's like, wow. And he stops and says, "Here." Everyone looks back and says, "Izuku? This is not Izuku. What the heck?" And Kachan's Bakugo is the most surprised and says, "Izuku? Is that you? It can't be." And he says, "I assure you this is me." And he's like, "You want to be gone for 2 days and suddenly you came this strong? What is it?" And Izuku says, "My quirk manifested." And they're like, "Quirk? This late?" They're like, "Yeah, sometimes it happens." They're like, "What is your quirk?" So basically, I'm indestructible." It's like, "Indestructible? What do you mean by that?" He's like, "I can't die." They're like, "You can't die?" It's like, "Yep. And I have a physical booster, and I'm strategically smarter, and photographic memory. That all came with my new quirk, and that's why I'm taller and muscular." Everyone's like, "What? How can he, out of all people, Izuku Midoriya, get one of get a quirk like that?" Bakugo's like, "I don't believe it." And Bakugo just goes up to Midoriya. This is before class, and just blasts him in the face. Which, a full blast. Everyone's like, "Kachan, what did you do?" So then Bakugo's like, "If it's real, he would recover by now. If it's not, someone get him to the doctor." And Izuku's like, "That won't be necessary." And he freaking grabs Bakugo's hands with strength that Bakugo can rival, puts it down, and Izuku's face is unscathed. And he said, "As I said, I can recover from any injury, Kachan." And everyone's like, "Whoa, we actually can." And Izuku, from that day on, never got bullied anymore and started to get more popular. But some people thought he was a freak because of, like, he can't die no matter what. What if he became a villain and just killed all the heroes because they can't take him away and stuff? Some people like him and some people don't. It just depends how you look on it. And Kachan's is person that's both of them. He respects his quirk, but he doesn't like Deku because he still thinks that he looks down on him. And occasionally they fight, but Izuku dominates with his acrobatics and agility and his strength. And his ability to create tactics in tactics in milliseconds. And everyone, Kachan is just overwhelmed. He's a good tactician, but he's not that fast of thinking stuff. Izuku, over the years, has grown a little more confident, but he's not douchebag. And Kachan began to start being friends with Midoriya, because after that one day they fought, like when he said he didn't like him but he respected him. But after that day he realized that he's not that bad and he really does have the ability to kick his butt. So then he respects Midoriya and is friends with Midoriya. So now it's the present time of the anime, and Izuku is in class, and the teacher says, "Okay, it's time for you to think about your future." And then he throws the paper in the air and says, "Oh, I don't care. I know you guys don't want to be heroes." Everyone starts to use their quirk, and Midoriya is cheering, but he can't use his quirk. And then Bakugo says, his rants and stuff. And then the teacher says, "Oh, Izuku, seems you want to go to UA too." Like, I'm gonna say, if like 3 people start to giggle a little, but it's shut down by the other people. Deku's admire, like, Deku's the people that have a crush on Deku, and tell him to shut up. He has a better quirk than you. So it's like, now it's 75% of people that like Deku, but 25 people just don't like the guy. So yeah, Zuko doesn't care about this and just moves on. Now it's the end of the day and Baku's like, "Hey, come on, we gotta go and train. You know, I want to get stronger too, cause one day I want to beat you." Then Izuku's like, "Just wait, I'm coming. Actually, no, I just remember I gotta go home." Concho's like, you just gonna bail me like that?" It's like, sorry. Just get stronger by yourself. I have to get home. My mom's gonna get angry. He's like, "Fine, you. Oh, screw you." And he walks away. Izuku's walking home, but takes the wrong turn and goes into a tunnel. And then he's like, "Wait, I took the wrong turn." And he turns back and he sees the sludge venom about to hit him. But Izuku does a backflip to dodge the attack. And Izuku's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And the sludge venom's, "Give me your body, kid. It seems that you're physically strong. I'm gonna enjoy that body." In a weird way. And Izuku's like, "You're not gonna have my body, you perv." And then the sergeant is like, "I don't mean it that way, you idiot. Now for that, I'm gonna torture you even longer." Izuku's like, "I would like to see you try." And he's dodging all the punches by doing backflips and somersaults and freaking cartwheels, and I don't know that backflip, like when you backflip but you do a flip a few times. I don't know, a spin a few times and land. I don't know. He's doing that stuff, and All Might is just intrigued by how much agility that this kid has, and then says, "Wow, he's pretty good." And then All Might's like, "Okay, time to stop." And then he comes and says, "Have no fear, because I am here," and punches the villain and all that stuff. Izuku is still a fan, but he's a little chilled out. So he asks, "Oh my, that's cool. Can I have an autograph?" And I was like, "Sure, kid." And he autographs it. And then Owen asks, "What is your quirk, kid? I saw you able to dodge all the villain's attack. What's your quirk?" And Zuko's like, thinks about that day, what his dad says not to reveal his quirk until a certain time, his actual power until a certain time, and just says, "Oh, my power's actually invincibility." It's like, "Invincibility? What do you mean?" He's like, "I can heal from any injury, and by my quirk, all my stats got boosted, my physical, my mental, and all that stuff." It's like, wow, that's a real good quirk, kid. You'd be a real good rescue hero, right? And then Izuku's like, "Yeah, I want to be a hero." And he says, "Are you gonna go to UA?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm planning to kind of be a hero like you, All Might." All Might's like, "I don't know about that, kid." And Izuku's like, What do you mean?" He's like, "You want to be like me, like heroic part or number one?" Izuku's like, "Of course number one. Then he's like, I don't know about that. I'm sure you could definitely be in the top 10 with that quirk of yours, but I just don't know about number one. Because number one, you do have to have a great quirk that can deal a lot of damage in case there's a big bad hero. And then Zuko's like, that's not all of being number one hero, right? And All Might's like, I agree, but there's still other stuff. While they're talking, All Might completely forgot and he just hears dee 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 on his watch and he times out. He's like, how could I forget? I got on with a stupid argument with a kid. And then Zuko's like, what? You're not All Might? I knew it. And then All Might's like, of course it's me, kid. I'm All Might. And then he explains his injury and says, yeah, that's why. And then Zuko's like, wow, that's a lot to take in. Yeah, just to make clear, yeah, All Might did forget about his freaking time limit because he was arguing with Zuko about how a number one hero should be. And then he timed out. So, okay, let's continue. Then Zuko says, so you had a big injury this fight. You see, since with my quirk, I wouldn't have suffered damage like that. It almost like, hey, that's unfair. And then Zuko's like, it's not my fault that you didn't have my quirk. And he sticks out his tongue like a freaking child and almost like, you can't talk to me like that. And then Zuko's like, whatever. Well, thanks for the autograph, All Might, and I hope you get better. And All Might's like, sure, kid. It's like, okay, I hope you get into Ray. I'm looking forward to see how you develop. And then Zuko's like, yeah, see ya. And he runs away, but it was pretty fast. And All Might's like, wow, he actually is pretty fast. And then, yeah, the sludge villain attack never happens because All Might was arguing with a 15-year-old kid how the number one hero is. Like an idiot. Yeah, I just wanted that to happen. So then Zuko's like, not number one, huh? All Might, fine then. So then he starts to train. He goes to the beach and he's like, I already know I have enhanced strength, but how far can I take the strength? And then he trains mostly just in his power, but some days in his speed because he feels like he has enough speed to react and to come up with something and to send a counter back. So he's fine with that. He just wants to increase his strength. So then he buys some weighted vests and weighted ankle weights and foot and all that stuff. And he starts training to remove all the trash out the beach. And All Might comes walking by with a kid with yellow hair that's kind of funny looking, but we all know it's Muriel. Just saying, yeah, Muriel gets one for all, not Deku, because I want him to get strong just by having the powers of Deadpool. But yeah, Zuko's, and if you haven't gotten it, Zuko's strength is gonna increase during the years, during the time, because I want him to, so he can keep up. And yeah, so then he sees Zuko working hard removing the trash out the beach, and Miro says, oh, seems like someone's here. And All Might said, wait, just watch him. And they start to watch him, and Zuko is just put on all the weighted vest and started to move the trash. But at first it was hard, but then eventually it just got easy. He was just, oh, this is getting easier, and he's just pushing stuff. Cause he learned how to push stuff more effectively. I know it's stupid, but yeah, he figured it out. And then Miro's like, whoa, wait, what the heck? Did you just figure out what? And Almost like, yeah, that's that kid for you. And then Miro's like, oh, intriguing. Do you know him, All Might? It's like, yeah, I met him before. He told me about his quirk. He has real potential. It's like, I was considering him for my quirk, but I chose you instead. And it's like, wow, that's intriguing. Getting praise from the actual great All Might? He must have talent. And then Izuku just keep on training, and it's like, okay, that's enough. So then he still has his weighted vests on, but then he goes on his phone and says, I should learn a skill. So then he searches up a video and says, how to throw a knife. And then he watches the video and says, and he figures out right away. And he's like, this will do. And he throws it into like a old fridge or something. Then almost like, oh, he learned it instantaneously. And then Izuku's just like throwing knives on the same spot, just landing where it was, building until it gets so long on knives that it just all falls to the ground. It's like, oh, that was easy to develop. It's like, that's enough training today. And then he turns around and sees All Might, the kid. He's like, oh, All Might, what are you doing here? He's like, well, I came here to train him, but it seems that you came to start already. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, All Might. Who might this be? He's like, just someone I'm training, because Suzuki doesn't know about One For All. But he doesn't know about One For All. But he doesn't know all my secret about his form. So he's like, okay, I'm sorry that I got in your way, and he walks away. Then Miro's like, can I fight him one day, All Might? He's like, yeah, you sure can. So then Izuku doesn't go to the beach for 2 days and instead stays home to learn more skills. So then he finally thinks to himself, I should use those things Dad gave me. So then he opens the box and he sees the katanas and all that knives and stuff. He's like, oh, these are special. And then it was another note saying, Izuku, I know by now you're curious. You probably figured out that you could learn stuff very easily. Forgot to mention that to you. So here, I developed these. These are katanas that are gonna be unique to you only. Izuku, it's like, unique to me, huh? And he thinks, okay, I'll give this out a try. So then he goes back to the beach and he sees All Might and Mirio there sparring. And Izuku's like, hey All Might. All Might's like, hi there, Midoriya. How you been doing? And yeah, he knows his name, just saying, yeah. So then he's like, yeah, I just came back to try out these things. He's like, it's like, then Mirio butts in, is like, hey, say you want to try them, so can I fight you? It's like, fight me? What do you mean? It's like, yeah, just a little sparring match, just to see how strong you are. It's like, how strong I am? It's like, look, I know you're training on the All Might, but I only came here just to try out my weapons. It's like, you can just try them out on me. It's like, oh my goodness. Fine. So then Izuku takes out the katanas and he's like, unique to me. And he's thinking, it's like, figure it out. And then he's like, figure what out, huh? And then just because of the sake of it, Izuku has unbreakable swords that can absorb any element and makes it part of the sword. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't care what you guys say, that's what I'm putting. So Izuku's like, okay. So then He's like, wait, before we spar, I need to try something. Hey, All Might. It's like, me? Yes. It's like, could you punch my sword at full strength? It's like, whoa, are you sure about this? It's like, yeah, I figured out something and I really need your help, please. It's like, I don't think I'm gonna do it, young Midoriya. It's like, come on, All Might. You owe me, remember? For keeping your secret now. It's like, you blackmailing me with my secret? It's like, I wouldn't have to do it if you just punched my sword. It's like, fine. And then Izuku's like, readies the sword in front of his face. And he's like, ready. Like in a cool stance with the sword. And almost like, alright. Detroit smash into the sword. And then All Might's like pushing. And he's like, it's not budging. And then Izuku's like, as I thought. And then All Might stops like, what type of sword is that? And Zuko's like, an invincible one. It's like, invincible one? My dad made these for me. He said these are just custom made for me. And it's like, custom made for you, huh? It's like, then Miro grabs it and it's like, it's mine now. As a joke. But then Zuko gets serious and like does a freaking backflip, like kick that hits Muriel to get his sword back. It's like, my sword. And Muriel's like, whoa, I was just kidding, sorry. Jeez. And he's just like, okay. And he walks off, not knowing about the second ability the sword has. I know you guys saying, Deadpool doesn't have this, I'm just giving it to him so then, yeah, he could, defeat certain people. Yeah. So then Mio's like, oh, what about spar? It's like, oh, fine. And then he asks, can I use my swords? And Mio's like, sure, but I don't think you'll be able to hit me with them. It's like, we'll see about that. And then Izuku and Miro, his fight has begun. Miro starts to sprint at Izuku, so he just falls into the ground and Zuko's like, what is happening? And then Miro comes behind him and Zuko, luckily with these fast reflexes, backflips away. And Miro's like, oh, I'm surprised. Not a lot of people know how to counter that. Zuko's like, well, I'm not like other people. And Miro goes back underground again and surprises Izuku. Izuku dodges it again. But then Izuku's like, come on, fight me. And Miro's like, fine then. And then he comes out naked and Izuku's like, whoa. And Miro's like, don't get distracted, and punches Izuku. But Izuku's like, and he recovers. And then Izuku tries to kick Muriel because he was wide open. But he just goes right through him, and it's like, damn, his quirk. And then he keeps on trying, and then Izuku's like, damn it, and he takes out his swords. His swords are pretty special, and I'm not actually, I'm gonna change it. Yeah, it's indestructible, but it has another element to it. So then Izuku slashes Miro with it, and it cuts him. All Might and Miro were surprised. Even Izuku's like, wait, what? How? And Miro's like, how did it cut me? And then Izuku's like, whoa, what is this? And All Might's like, okay, that's enough. But Miro's like, no, it's just getting fun. He was able to hit me with his sword now. So then I had to work with it. All Might's like, don't you see that you're bleeding? It's like, little blood won't stop me. But All Might's like, no, that's enough. Izuku's like, what's up with this sword? And he calls up his dad and says, Dad, I used the swords that you gave me. He's like, so you have now. And he asks, what's up with them? I know they're indestructible, but I was facing a guy that has this quirk that allows him to pass through anything, but my sword was able to slice him. It's like, oh, that's a great quirk, but not enough to be that sword. It's like, what did you do to the sword? It's like, that sword of yours is very special. And he says, how special? It's like, it's able to copy anyone's quirk. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, so as you can see, the sword is indestructible, but it can also copy people's quirks. So as you see, you're up against Miro. So, I mean, I'm just assuming, like, if his phase and his phase is gonna cancel each other. Yeah, I'm just saying that. It's like, yeah. Then Izuku's like, whoa. And then his dad comes up with another example. It's like, let's say you're up against your friend Kachan, your friend Bakugo. If you use that sword against them, your blades would have explosions. Every time you slice, there would be an explosion. Then Izuku's like, cool, are you serious? He's like, yep. Yep. That's why I made them for you. It's like, whoa. And he's like, did you take the other thing I got for you? He's like, no, you said the note said to only open it when I get into UA. And he's like, just go ahead, open it. And Izuku gets the box and tells his dad, okay, I'm opening it. And he opens it and he pulls it out. It seems to be like a belt. And then Izuku's like, what is this? Just a belt? And he's like, not an ordinary belt. Put it on. And he puts it on. It's like, what else is supposed to do? And then his dad says, try to focus on one spot and just sees what happens. Izuku's like, okay. He focuses his eyes to another part of his room and he teleported. He's like, whoa. He's like, Dad, did you invent teleportation? He's like, yes, indeed I have. It's like, whoa, does that mean I can teleport anywhere? He's like, no, you can only teleport to places you can see within a certain radius. It's like, oh, that is useful. And it's like, yep, I made those things for you. Those are my gifts for back when I had to torture you. I just felt so bad, and I developed these support weapons for you. So he's like, I forgave you that long time ago. And besides, you're just trying to help me to achieve my dreams. But the dad's like, thank you, Izuku. You don't know what that means to me, because I always felt bad. It's like, it's fine, Dad. And he canceled the call. Izuku goes back to the spot and he sees Miro and All Might again. And Izuku's like, I'm back with new items. And like, what do you mean new items? Izuku's like, just watch. Hey Miro, let's spar. It's like, sure. Are you gonna come here with that sword again? Izuku's like, maybe not. So then they start to spar, he goes underneath, and then Izuku lets Miro get behind him, and as Miro was about to punch him, Izuku teleported. They're like, what? He teleported? And Izuku's like, told you, got new items. And then he tries to punch Miro, but yet again goes through him. But then Izuku's like, I'm not done yet. His hand is still going through Miro, and he uses his other hand with his sword. It seems like he's gonna stab him, but he switches them to sides, and instead of like stabbing Miro with the sharp side, he just hits him with the handle part, which hits Miro. It's like, ow, which actually knocks him out, which makes him lose focus out of the permeation mode. And Izuku's like, now's my chance, and he does this freaking great counter kick that just knocks the wind out of Miro. And I was like, that's amazing. And then I was like, wow, I thought that thing from yesterday was just luck, but you actually do have skill. And then he's like, yep. It's like, you have some great martial arts skills. And then I was like, oh my, can I ask you something? And I was like, sure. He didn't. Miro asked, could he train me? He's like, train you out loud. And Zuko's, huh? And then I was like, keep it down. I just want to ask if Zuko could train me in his martial arts, because somehow he's just amazing at it. Then All Might's hesitant, but he's like, I haven't told him about the thing. And Miro was like, I think we could trust him. All Might thinks is like, you're right. And then Miro asked, hey Izuku, could you be my teacher? It's like, teacher? What do you mean? It's like, I see you have great skill in martial arts, so I would like to know your ways of fighting. And Izuku's like, this is getting weird. All Might, is this all fine? And All Might's like, yes, and yeah, I think you should help him. And Izuku's like, fine, since All Might said it, sure, I'll be a teacher. And then Izuku says, but it won't be easy. Lucky because of me, I'm able to learn things fast, so I picked up this fast, but I don't know about you. And I was like, don't worry about me, I'll be fine. So then it's like, okay. But then All Might's like, so now that you accept Miro as your teacher, I gotta tell you something. Then he tells Izuku about 1 for all and 1 for 1. He's like, whoa, so that's how you got your strength? You were quirkless first? And you passed it down to Muriel, and now it's like, whoa, this is something big. It's like, yeah, it is. And that's where I'm gonna end it for today, guys. This was a long one. I think I might start doing this much more, because it's more fun this way. I like it more, and I really appreciate the support that I'm getting lately. I really appreciate it, guys. I hope you guys are staying safe, and hope you guys have a nice day, and see you.